Hi guys, it's Chris at Cork and Crown, back at my cider table and my white wall with some more cider to try. And it's a French cider. So I had a few French ciders, which I bought in August when I was in Normandy. And I've done a couple of them already. One I did was a rosé, it was very good. And then we did from Michel Bruton, I think. I can't remember the name. Put it on the screen. Great little producer. But just next to that person, it was a couple of other cider makers, including Eric Bordelet, who, if you know anything about French cider, you've probably heard of Eric Bordelet because he's like hailed as one of the great French cider makers. He was a sommelier, so came from the world of wine, so brought wine ideas to cider making. But cider is wine, so that makes total sense. His family had a farm, like apples, orchards. They've been biodynamic and organic since the 90s, I believe. Local varieties, they've got 30 different varieties of sours, bitters, and sharps that they're blending to make these ciders. They do poiré, perry as well, which I have to taste as well. I've got one of them. I've got 3 bottles of this stuff to try, I think. I had more, but I drank quite a lot of it. Can you blame me? It says stuff on the back in French. I've tried fruity flavors, soft bubbles, produced Coteau du Massif Armoricain, Maine, Mont des which is basically southern Normandy. So that's like the terroir, if you like. Can't read the rest of it. Not great. I know a bit of French, but I haven't done enough for ages. Can't remember it. 6% ABV. So yeah, there you go. There you go. Beautiful bottles, aren't they? Beautiful bottles. But labels, you don't taste labels. You don't eat labels or drink them unless you're a nutter. And I'm not, so I'm not going to. You look at them and then you open the bottle and then you decide what it's like. So it's a method ancestral, so pet nat basically. So naturally sparkling, soft bubble. So I think it's going to be, it says Tendre on there, Brut Tendre, which means tender. Tender, brut, dry. I'm not sure how that translates exactly. I'm not sure what it means by tender. Maybe it's to do with the soft bubbles, or it's light, or it's off, medium sweet or something, or off dry. I don't know. Anyway, we'll find out when we open it. Yes, we will, Chris. So, cage comes off. There's the cork. 2023 it says. That's nice. He's got that bang on. Boom. Smoking gun. Beautiful, perfectly judged bubbles. Perfectly judged. I don't even see them coming up. You just about can. Perfectly judged. That was great. Okay, so double tick for that. You'd be surprised how hard it is to get that right. So, nice mousse, obs. Quite light in colour. Quite light and bright in colour, actually. I expected it to be more amber than that. They will usually sort of macerate the apples, let them sit, because you'll get more extraction, soften some of the tannins. But also that brings colour, because it means when they oxidise, they go brown. That's why apples go brown. So you tend to get more of an amber colour from that. So that's actually lighter in colour than I expected. I mean, it's not really amber. It's a deep straw gold. That, I mean, just about going into amber, but not really. Very bright indeed. Let's sniff it. Lovely nose actually. It's quite delicate, but it's got that apple dessert, that apple, the pastry from your patisserie with fresh apple baked, with apple baked on the top, but not Granny Smith's, like eating apples, really delicious, rich, ripe eating apple. So it makes me think of like honey as well, and butter, mouth watering. Yeah, it's quite delicate, but it has all those things. It smells fab. So based on the bubbles and based on the nose, this is an excellent cider. Let's try it, because that's what matters at the end of the day. Big bubbles, lots of them. There's tannin in this. It has some. Has astringency on the front. Not loads, but it's there. It's nice. Hint of leatheriness, hard tannin on the back. Not too much. It's nice. Sugar. Yeah, this is, I would qualify, if you used to drink like, I don't know, Thatcher's, this would be classed as dry, right? Because it's me drinking it, and I'm drinking proper cider with a Y, if you like, cider, old school, traditional, well made, 100% juice, etc. I don't think this is not dry by any stretch. It's, I would say, medium, possibly get away with medium dry. Yeah, medium to medium dry, I would say. Because of that leatheriness, it's bringing a sort of leathery bitterness, which is taking away. It's like wiping out some of that sweetness, some of those sugars, it's detracting from them, which makes it actually more balanced. I love sugar. I love sugar. I've got a totally sweet tooth, but I don't like things to be cloying. You know, things have to be in balance, and this is really nicely in balance. It's really good. It's really good. At first it almost feels like a Clément, like sparkling wine. Then you get that apple sweetness, that rich apple dessert honey side character. And that makes you realise you're drinking a cider and not a delicately sparkling white wine. It's very good. It's very good. It's not the most complex cider I've ever had. Minerality I'm getting now. What makes me think of apple skin as well, I'm getting now. But it is good. It is. It is. I've had some of Eric's stuff that hasn't. I've never had anything bad from Eric, ever. I'm going to call him Eric, like he's my mate. Although I went, he was there. He talked to me in French. He packed all of these in a box for me. Very nice. He was in a hurry, but he did it all. It was great service. I'll put a picture somewhere of that on my blank wall. I'll make use of this blank wall. Haven't liked all of them, in the sense that they're not cheap, these ciders. They're not inexpensive, let's say. Sometimes I think I could have got that from another Normandy producer who was charging half the price, you know, who didn't have the fancy labels and stuff like that, okay? And had a long tradition of making cider, like, you know, etc., etc. But I appreciate what he's doing, very much indeed. The fact he's putting that much care into, you know, all picked by hand, etc., the biodynamics, the organics, all that stuff. Whether things like biodynamics makes a difference, I'm not sure. But I think it does make a difference in as much as if you're going that far into the details, you know, then you're probably doing things slightly more carefully with more precision than people who aren't doing that, you know, because you're pushing the envelope as hard as you can if you're doing that, you know. So it probably does make a difference. Whether that difference is actually because of the biodynamics, or whether just because anyone who would do biodynamics is so careful and obsessive about what they're doing that alone will make the difference. Do you see what I mean? So whether it's that or not, you know, I don't know, but it does make a difference most of the time. But like I said, some of these ciders for what I've paid, I've been like, it's good, but I'm not sure the QPR's there. This, I really like actually. I really do like this. I think the leatheriness, the sugar, everything else is in balance. The mousse is great. Lovely cider. Like it very much indeed. So it says demi-sec on here. So yeah, off dry, if you like. Whatever they've got completely. But it says demi-sec and it's 6%. So whatever, because the rules in France for dry and so forth are totally different. Over 4.5% you can call it brut, but then I think maybe it's to do with sugar content, Anyway, it's a bit confusing to me, and I keep reading it and then forgetting, because I've only got so much RAM and I forget things. When I learn something new, I have to forget something to make room for the new thing. Anyway, there you go. Blah, blah, blah. Eric Bordelet, Brut, Tendre, 2023. We do indeed like. So thank you for joining me at my cider table and my white cider wall. I hope you join me again, but until that time, cheers.